Welcome back, dear students. In the previous lecture, we already discussed the structure of muscle. Then, in the structure of muscle, the sarcomere, then the muscle proteins. Today, we are going to study the insect flight mechanism. So, in the mechanism of flight, the flight is attained by the stroking of wings. Forward motion of the body produces airflow that pushes ahead the insect, and active movements of the wings produce the lift and propulsion, initiating all collectively the flight. The wing movement occurring during the flight of the insects is oscillatory rather than the rotary. Similarly, the axis of rotation is horizontal and never vertical, and alteration in the angle of attack of the wing during a cycle of stroking initiates the lift, propulsion and the control. The movement of the wings during flight is an extremely complicated phenomena which includes first, the elevation of depression, that is upward downward movement. Then the promotion and the remotion, that is forward and aft movement. Then the pronation and the supination, that is a twisting movement and folding and bulking of the wings. All these wings movement facilitating the flight are performed and controlled by the thoracic muscle, elasticity, sclerites and the sensory structure. The muscles are neither directly connected with the wings nor they directly act on the wings, but they mostly act on the notum, basilar, subbasilar and auxiliary sclerites, which in turn activate the wings. Since the time of Chambrier in 1822, it is known that they perform the wing movement in all insects, but the mechanism was remain unexplored for a long time. In all insect, contraction of the indirect dorsoventral muscle produces an upward movement of the wings, and thus they act as the wing elevators. These muscles, which are also termed as the sternonotal or vertical muscle by some workers, are inserted into the notum of the thoracic segments. When this muscle contract, the notum is pulled down along with the moving down the point of articulation of the wing with the notum. As a result, the wing membrane moves up with the pleural process, which acts like a pivot or the fulcrum. So, in the Psyllidae, however, the indirect dorsoventral muscle are reduced and non-functional and oblique dorsal muscles act as the wing elevators. Similarly, in some insects, the accessory muscles like anterior pterygocoxal and the posterior pterygocoxal brings the upward movement of the wings. The indirect dorsal longitudinal muscle, mostly in Diptera and Hemiptera, produces the downward movement of the wings, and hence they act as the wing depressor. On the contraction of these muscle, the central or the center of the notum becomes bow upwards. It leads to move up the notal articulation of the wing, and the wing membrane ultimately moves down. The downward movement of the wing of the Odonata and the Blattaria is produced by the direct muscle associated with the basilar or subbasilar sclerites on one hand and with the axillary sclerites on the another. While in Coleoptera and Orthoptera, it is produced by the both direct and indirect muscle of the wing bearing segments. It can therefore be concluded that indirect dorsal longitudinal muscle are always wing depressor and also the basilar and the subbasilar muscles, while the dorsoventral indirect muscle are elevator. The basilar and the subbasilar uh, muscles produce pronation and the supination of the wings respectively. This direct muscle therefore act synergistically for power but antagonistically for control of the wing twisting. At the time of vigorous running, the wings are folded and the interior turbocoxal and second basilar muscle oppose the posterior turbocoxal and sublar is promotion and remotion movement of the legs. But when the legs are brought down into the flight position close to the body, the same muscle move the wings. So this is about the mechanism of insect flight. There are four types of muscle. First is direct flight muscle, second one is indirect flight muscle, third is synchronous muscle, and fourth one is asynchronous muscles. Let's see them one by one. First is direct direct flight muscles. Direct flight muscles are found in all insects and are used to control the wing during flight. However, in insects such as the dragonflies and the cockroaches, direct flight muscles are used to power flight too. The wings pivot up and down around a single pivot point. The wings are raised by the contraction of muscle attached to the base of the wing inside, that is towards the middle of the insect, the pivot point. Okay, so wings are then brought down by the contraction of muscle that attack or that attach to the wing outside of the pivot point. Unlike other insects, the wing muscle of species of mayflies and the odonata, that is the dragonflies and the damselflies, the two living orders traditionally classified as the Paleoptera. Okay, so Epimeroptera and the Odonata, these two orders traditionally classified as the Paleoptera. So in this, it insert the directly at the wing bases, that is mayfly, dragonflies and damselflies insert directly at the wing bases which are hing, so that a small movement of the wing base downward lifts the wing itself upward, very much like so roving through the air. In mayflies, the wing or the hind wings are reduced, sometimes absent, and play little role in their flight, which is not particularly agile and the graceful. In contrast, dragonflies or damselflies have four or hind wings similar in shape and size and operated independently, so which gives a degree of fine control and mobility in terms of the abruptness with which they can change direction and speed not seen in other flying insects. This is not surprising given that odonats are all the aerial predator and they have always hunted other airborne insects. This is a diagram of illustration of operation of the insect's wing using the direct flight muscles. The darker muscle are those in the process of contracting. The second one is indirect flight muscles. Indirect flight muscles are found in more advanced insects such as true flies. Indirect flight muscles are connected to the upper, that is sternum, and lower sternum surfaces of the insect thorax. A second set of muscle attached to the front and the back of the thorax. The wings are raised by the muscles attached to the upper and the lower surface of the thorax contracting. This brings the top surface of the thorax down and along with it the base of the wings as a result the wing tips pivot upward. The wings are then lowered by the contraction of the muscle attached to the front and rear of the thorax. So, this forces the upper surface of the thorax to raise and the wings pivot downward. Other than the two orders with the direct flight muscle, all all other living wing insects fly using a different mechanism involving indirect flight muscles. These muscles involve ones and is the defining features of synapomorphy for the infraclass, that is a Neoptera. It corresponds probably not coincidentally with the appearance of the wing folding mechanism, which allows Neuropteran insect to fold the wings back over the abdomen when at rest. In the higher groups with two functional pairs of wings, both pairs are linked together mechanically in various ways and function as a single wing. Although this is not true in the more primitive groups, there are also expansion to be found among the more advanced Neuroptera. The ghost moth is able to unlock its pair of wings and move them independently, allowing them to hover like dragonflies. This is a diagram of illustration of the operation of the insect's wings using the indirect flight muscles. The darker muscles are those in the process of contracting. There are two sorts of muscle, that is asynchronous and second one is synchronous. Asynchronous is muscle that contracts more than once per nerve impulse. Asynchronous muscle appears in an insect's flight muscles as the wings need to flap at right frequencies. Then the asynchronous muscles also appears in the timbal muscle of the some cicadas. Several species of the insect including flies, wasps, bees and beetles have involved muscles that are unique to insects, that is asynchronous flight muscles. See the figure, uh, asynchronous flight muscle. so which are capable of contracting at much faster frequencies that a synchronous flight muscle or any other nose muscles. In asynchronous muscle, individual contraction are not synchronized with the individual nerve action potential. So instead, they typically produce many oscillatory or oscillatory contraction for each action potential. Each contraction produces a wing beat. Wing beat frequencies of more than 1000 beats per second have been recorded in a midge. In addition, unlike fast contraction muscles in other animals such as the rattlesnakes, shaker muscles, asynchronous flight muscles also develop large amount of tension with the economy of ATP. These attributes gives insects stunning ability to their small wings, so relatively to the body size, to accomplish the aerial behavior such as the evadation, predators, and the seeking out and the competing for mates. Asynchronous flight muscles are not attached directly to the wings. Instead, vertically and longitudinally muscle attack to the walls of the thorax. These opposing pair of muscles make use of the elastic properties of the thorax. When the vertical elevator muscle contract, they pull down on the roof of the thorax, deform its sides, causing the wings to remove up through a hinge arrangement. When the longitudinal depressor muscle contracts, the roof of the thorax bulb up and has the effect of moving the wings down. The frequency of alternating contraction of vertical and longitudinal muscle depends on the resonant mechanical properties of the thorax and the wings, not on the frequencies of nerve action potential. If the wings are clipped, the flight frequencies increases because of a decreased wing inertia and the air resistance. But the frequencies of initiating nerve action potential is unchanged as long as there is a sufficient calcium in the cytoplasm. The cross bridge which will function. Over time, the calcium is pumped back to the sarcomere and contraction will increase until the another action potential is generated by the motor neuron. Then the second one is synchronous muscle. This is a type of muscle that contracts one per nerve impulse synchronous muscle. So synchronous muscle is the most common form of muscle found within an insect's body. It also occurs in a flight muscle within the insect that beat their wings less than 100 times per second. Some insects, such as a dragonfly or locust, use synchronous flight muscle. So, its name because its muscle contracting synchronized with the action potential that initiated it, as is the case in vertebrate skeletal muscle. The synchronous flight muscles are arranged vertically to the long axis of the animal, with one end attached to the wing and other to the floor of the thorax. Contraction of the medial elevator muscles pulls the wings up and the contraction of the lateral depressor muscle pulls the wing down. This is all about the muscles. So here we completed the chapter, that is muscle. Thank you.